So I turned around and I spat on him. Now, I'm not going to spit on any one of you today, unless you're in the front row here. This is kind of like the splash zone at SeaWorld. You see, when you get excited, you tend to salivate. And I'm really excited today. So anyways, the look of shock on his face when I spat on him. I went to a predominantly white school, and as you can see, I'm not predominantly white. And so I remember in social studies class, we were learning about the indigenous people of the Americas when someone in the back said, "What tribe is Marc Cordon from?" Whole class burst out in laughter. Later, when the kid called me a dog eater, I snapped, I turned, and I spat right in his face. Both of us in shock until the teacher came and said, "Mark, demerit detention. You're gonna give me a demerit when he called me a dog eater." That's when the teacher did something that surprised me that day. He took my demerit and gave it to the other kid. Now, here's the thing. If you spit in someone's face, that's abhorrent. That's egregious. That's demerit worthy. In some cases, you go to jail. Yet, on that day, what? I got away with it? And that's when I learned that anger could be used as an effective manipulation tool. And so that's how I lived. Feeding the anger, using an indignation to manipulate. And I soon began to think that I saw every single Asian American being viewed as invisible, being viewed as tokenized, being viewed as honorary Americans. And suddenly, filled with rage, I brought together Asian Americans on this credo. In collective anger, we gather in protest. In collective anger, we threaten authority using fear. In collective anger, we effectively fight fire with fire. So now I'm a positive psychology coach. But this is the thing that I learned about positive psychology. If you ignore anger, you're doing something very detrimental to yourself. Because the anger, the sadness, those are all indicators that your boundaries are being crossed, that there's a deep-seated need for change. And I'll be the first to tell you, I went about it in all the wrong ways using fear. In the long run, I started to burn out. A high-functioning Asian American suddenly went to a dysfunctioning one in my PhD program, in my relationships, heck, even within my self-esteem. Now, to sweeten that with some sugar, I accepted a position before I became a positive psychologist as the associate director of multicultural affairs based on my in collective anger methodology. Yo, I got paid to be mad. And that happened until one day, a student named Jaspal came into my office and said, "Mark, I just took the best class of my life. It's going to change the way we view social justice." He handed me the syllabus, The Sociology of Happiness. There is no way I was going to read that. And I turned to Jaspal and I said, "Son, happiness is for the privileged, man. Not for us have-nots. We're in the middle of a war for equality." And so I spat on him. No, I didn't spit on him. But it was hard to build that bridge to positive psychology. I eventually opened that syllabus, and what I found was wondrous. I remember the first article I came across, which was the scientific benefits of gratitude, which led me to other articles. Anger and fear can be contagious. And if anger and fear can be contagious, then so too must be happiness. You mean I don't have to do this anger stuff all the time? Hulk smash? So what I discovered, and you can use this in your joy revolution, is that we first start our internal journey of joy on the inside. But we have to understand that this personal growth stuff is just not enough. Personal growth is just not enough. Gandhi said, "We but mirror the world." And when we change our nature, the attitude of the world changes towards us. You know what Gandhi was talking about? He was talking about joy, baby. He was talking about joy. And he used that joy for social change. So when Gandhi negotiated with the monarchy about India's release, he used the power of joy. And with that power of joy, as Joseph Ranseth says, a 90-pound Hindu ascetic with homespun clothes and no shoes brought the largest empire to its knees. Dare. How will you use your power of joy to change our history for the better? Well, I can tell you this. Controversy can be beneficial when it's built upon civility. Jesus, Mother Teresa, they all talked about the oneness of the human experience, the oneness of it. Another dare, dare two. In an age when we can delete or unfriend someone on social media because their beliefs just don't jive with our own, how can we connect with them in curiosity and respect to build bridges? I dare you, because joy and anger can coexist simultaneously. I want you to think of a rosebud, okay? This rosebud, if you dismiss it, you're missing the beauty. You're missing the beauty of growth and progress. Now, if you look at society and you feel despondent, if you feel upset, if you feel marginalized, it's just like that rosebud. It is where it needs to be. Until you can imagine, until you can envision a flourishing, thriving world, and that's when you can use joy to make progress towards it. This society, y'all, this whole society is built on the invisible tapestry of unwritten rules and social norms. We can't see it. And because we can't see it, we can tend to fall into the illusion that this status quo is unchangeable. It's immutable. But think of each of you as having X-ray glasses. X-ray glasses that allow you to see the intolerance. X-ray glasses that allow you to see the discrimination. It's a gift. It is a total gift to have that lens. But dare I say, it's your responsibility to speak up when you see intolerance, because you're the only one that can see that. Make the invisible visible to all of us. So in collective joy, we can start that revolution, baby. And when we start that revolution, instead of raising your arms, lead that revolution by opening your arms. Join the joy revolution and watch as its contagiousness changes our history for the better.